we are actually discussing about rocks. These are actually the type of natural resources. If we generally discuss what is a natural resource is actually a kind of resource that is what people can use, that is actually coming from environment, that is actually present in the environment in naturally. That is simple. In simple terms, we can say the natural resources are actually the kind of resources that are unharmed by, that does not mankind. So it's mean we can say natural resources are those resources that are present naturally in natural environment. We human beings or other organisms are utilizing all those natural resources that are available. So the examples that are included in these natural resources are mostly air, water, wood, oil, wind energy, natural gas, iron, coal. It's mean we can categorize on broader level that land, air, water, plants, and rocks. All these are actually the kind of natural resources that are present naturally. These are actually not man-made. We can say these are not man-made. These are actually created by nature. So they are present in abundance. So we are utilizing these natural resources by our will and wish. So among them we will discuss only one natural resource, that is rocks. In previous lecture we have discussed about earth. Earth was also a kind of resource that is providing us a site that is present in form of land, where we are actually living, we are performing all type of activity. And the earth is actually having kind of divisions, that is biosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and all those spheres were actually the kind of integrated spheres. They were working with harmony with one another. So uh, the rocks that are also important part of this universe, they are actually present on Earth's surface, and they are important natural resource for human beings. If we discuss about a rock, what is actually a rock? In geology, rock is actually a naturally occurring and coherent aggregate of one or more minerals. And Earth is basically composed of typical different types of recognizable and mappable volumes of different types of rocks. If we want to define, if we discuss what is a rock is actually a naturally occurring solid substance that is made up of different types of minerals. Some rocks actually contain only one type of minerals, other are actually made up of several types of minerals. Are they, this means we can say a rock can be made up of only one type of mineral, or it may figuring out what minerals different groups that are igneous rocks, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. These are actually the three basic types of rocks that we will discuss in bit detail in next slides. So, if we go for the proper classification of rocks, rocks are actually divided into three major classes according to the processes that are responsible for their formation. We can have igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. If we generally discuss about igneous rocks are actually the kind of rocks that are primary rocks. They are actually the primary rock sources because they are the resultant. They are the product of they are actually formed via uh, process that is actually having a kind of liquid or molten state. So these rocks are actually the kind of rocks that are primary rocks. Why we are naming them, why we are calling them as primary rocks? Because they are actually the earth, they are also the earth earliest objects. If we discuss cooling, result in the formation of different types of rocks. And so they are actually the primary source, primary evidence in terms of land formation, in terms of earth data, in terms of lithic composition. So the igneous rocks are actually the types of primary rocks. Next, the rocks that are important in terms of fossil remains or in terms of paleontology, they are more significant rocks that are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are derived rocks. So we can also call them as secondary rocks. They are the sedimentary rocks are also called as secondary rocks. They are derived rocks because they are actually formed from the fragments of pre-existing rocks. It means we can say the igneous rocks or igneous rocks are the kind of rocks that will serve as source for the formation of other types of rocks. So the third type of rocks that is associated, that is also important categorization or classification of rocks is metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are the kind of rocks that are formed under high temperature and pressure in the deep earth layers. It means we can generally have metamorphic rocks, and among them igneous rocks are primary rocks, and sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are derived rocks, or they are secondary rocks. So on the we can classify these three types of rocks into primary rocks and secondary rocks. In this diagram, you can see in the form of flow chart that sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, and metamorphic rocks. These are actually the three basic types of rocks, and these rocks will have further types, that is intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks. Intrusive rocks are actually those kind of rocks that are actually formed by the direct cooling of magma or lava, and extrusive rocks are actually those kind of rocks that are formed by slow cooling process, and they will result in formation of different types of rock materials. So intrusive rocks will include these are actually the name of different types of rock, that is gabbro diorite, granodiorite, granite, basalt, adenosite, dacite, and rhyolite. All these are actually the type of names of different types of igneous rocks that are studied. So they are formed by direct cooling of magma or lava, or by slow cooling of magma or molten lava form. So we will categorize these rocks according to their on the basis of their settlement, on the basis of their temperature settlement. They can be intrusive and extrusive rocks. And the next type of rocks that are also significant, that are important in terms of fossil remains, they are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks can be can be plastic, chemical, and biological. If we discuss about clastic type, these are actually the kind of rocks that are actually made up of sand, silt, and different types of mudstone, different types of shales. It means they are actually the kind of rocks that is actually having a kind of pebbly or stony composition. And the next type of sedimentary rock, that is chemically formed different types of rocks. They are the most important sedimentary rocks are actually the lime. They are important. Then dolostone and vaporites, they are actually the type of sedimentary rocks that are formed by different types of chemical processes. Then different types of rocks, sedimentary rocks that are having a coal composition or cat composition. These are actually the biological rocks. These rocks will contain a kind of material, a kind of source that will have a kind of most of the composition of these rocks will be having different types of biological material, and among them coal. As you have an idea, coal is actually formed by the uh, under deep layers of earth by different types of plants and animal remains. So we can have three different categorization of these sedimentary rocks. Next, we will discuss about metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks, these are actually rocks that are formed under the deep layer of earth under high temperature and pressure. They can have a beautiful pattern. Among them, marble is actually the most commonly utilized metamorphic rock. They can be foliated and non-foliated. Foliated rocks are actually the type of rocks that will bear some type of pattern, and non-foliated rocks are actually the type of kind of pattern, but they will be having a kind of structure that will resemble a structure that will be not in a, that will not be a definite pattern, but they are also formed under high temperature and pressure. So they are important metamorphic rocks. So the foliated rocks are slate, sketch, and genesis. These are actually the name of different types of foliated rocks that actually have different and non-foliated rocks that can be that are important in terms of paleontology, or in terms of earth history, or that are actually the important natural resources. If we discuss about igneous rocks in actually the also call them as primary rocks. Why we are actually calling them as primary rocks? Because they are solidified from the molten material from the molten lava. So they are actually serving as the primary rock source. If we discuss about, yeah, if we generally discuss what is actually the composition of these igneous rocks almost constitute about, they account about 64.7% of the total rocks that are actually that we are actually studying on our surface. It means they are maximum in number. And almost 700 different types of primary rocks, igneous rocks, are these primary rocks are actually present. It means we can say they are much more abundant on Earth's strata, on Earth's surface, are in lithic composition of this Earth, this land. The most of the rocks, most of the material that is actually having igneous composition, are they are actually solidified from the lava. The lava that is actually flows from different types of different regions of the world. Igneous rocks are actually the kind of rocks that are formed at high temperature, because lava is actually the lava flow is actually having the kind of consistency that can burn each and everything. It means where the lava two categories, as I have discussed in a previous flowchart diagram, that they can be intrusive and extrusive rocks. Intrusive rocks are actually the type of rocks that are formed by direct cooling, and they are placed in the earth crust. And the extrusive rocks are actually the kind of rocks that are extruded into the surface of the land or the ocean bottom, in which the case cooling molten material is called lava. It's mean we can say intrusive rocks and extrusive rocks are actually the kind of rocks that are that are categorized on the basis of their temperature settlements. So when they get settled, they can have different types of consistency. They can have lightweight, or they can be as heavy like other stones. So igneous rocks are important rocks in a way that they account almost 64.7% of the total earth crust, and almost 700 different types of igneous rocks or primary rocks are studied in this environment. So we look at the what are actually the different types of categorization of igneous rock, you can see in this diagram that there are pumice, granite, obsidian, rhyolite, scoria, tuff. These are actually the different types of igneous rocks that are performed that are actually studied in different types of environment. So they can be light in weight, or they can be heavier as other rocks. So these all are actually are the different types of igneous rocks that we study in terms of paleontology, in terms of natural resource, or in terms of source that is serving as important evidence to provide clue about earth history. Next, important rocks in terms of paleontology, that are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are actually the type of rocks that are of much more concern. They are of much more importance, because they are having a kind of significance in a way that they will contain different types of fossil remains. And we have discussed earlier that these are actually the type of rocks that are formed by they are found by the broken pieces of different types of rocks material. So they have a gradual formational processes. So they are deposited and lithified. It means they are compacted and cemented together at the earth's surface with the assistance of running water, wind, ice, and living organisms. It means we can say these are actually the type of rocks which are of much more concern. Most of the rocks that are deposited from the land surface to the bottom of the lakes, rivers, and oceans, these are actually the sedimentary rocks. It means the most deposits of different types of sediments are actually accumulated, assembled in form of these sedimentary rocks that we actually observe in different lakes, rivers, and oceans. Sedimentary rocks are actually important in a term that they account almost 7.9% of the total rock strata, and they are stratified. They are studied in a different types of earth crust. That is they account almost 7.9%. And the layers of these sedimentary rocks can be distinguished by differences in their color, mean we can say these sedimentary rocks will contain different types of composition that can have different color. They can be a different types of particle size. Means the material that is actually playing important role in the formation of these sedimentary rocks will have different types of particle size. At, and the type of material that can be a lime or any type of marble or any kind of pebbly composition. All these factors actually constitute the internal arrangement of the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are significant or much more concerned in terms of fossil remains. So in this diagram you can see different types of sedimentary rocks are actually present. These are actually the type of rocks that are formed under different processes. They are actually not the type are formed directly, but while they are formed by different processes, so they can have soft or hard consistency. Here is the rock salt, that is we are actually calling as rocks salt, that is playing important role in salt range development in different countries. So here is sandstone and dolomite. These three are actually important sedimentary rocks in terms of paleontological study. If we generally discuss the process of sedimentary rock formation that are important in terms of paleontology, when the rocks that can be igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic, they are actually at the near the surface of the earth. They are exposed by process of weathering. It's mean weathering is actually the main agent, is the main factor that is responsible for the formation of rocks. So the mechanical weathering of the rocks is a process in which rocks are broken up into smaller pieces by different types of activities. Like these activities are the wedging, the freezing and thawing of water inside the cracks into the rocks, the root wedging, the tree and other plants roots growing into the cracks, or scouring the the different types of rocks are actually broken up, or they are actually they actually bear the phenomena of wear and tear by any kind of that can be a kind of chemical event, or a kind of event that is actually responsible for their breaking. It's mean that can be water, that can be any type of tree that is actually growing on the different types of rocks. So as a result, these rocks will be broken apart, and they will serve as important source. So the different types of agents, as we have discussed, wind, water and air, they will transport these the broken pieces or different types of material to the deep ocean layers or different types of rivers, and then they will get settled, and they will constitute the formation of sedimentary rocks. So it means we can say mechanical weathering is significant, and mechanical weathering of the rocks, that is actually responsible for the breaking different types of rock materials into simple and we can say small, actually unaltered the different types of minerals that are actually present in these rocks. So mechanical weathering is important source of these rocks formation. And the next thing that is important in terms of chemical in terms of weathering, that is chemical weathering. Chemical weathering actually result in the mineral in a process that is responsible for the change in the composition of minerals. It's mean the minerals are actually transformed into new mineral types and mineral different types of byproducts. So some minerals like halite and calcite may be dissolved completely. It's mean chemical weathering is actually the kind of weathering that will involve some type of chemical reactions, and these chemical reactions will they will play important role in the they can form different types of combinations, or they can actually constitute the formation of new products that will constitute the formation of these rocks. So especially if we generally discuss the silicate minerals, they are altered by chemical processes, the process that is actually called as hydrolysis. And the hydrolysis is the reaction of minerals in weakly acidic waters. So most natural surface waters are slightly acidic because the carbon dioxide from the air dissolves the water, and the sum of the dissolved carbon dioxide actually reacts with water, forming the chemical compound that is called carbonic acid. It's mean calcite is calcite or calcium carbonate is actually the type of mineral that will undergo kind of chemical weathering, and it will result in the alteration of these minerals. So these this means we can say the igneous sedimentary or metamorphic rocks are actually the type of rocks. They are actually interconverted in one form is actually converted into another in a way that different types of mechanical and chemical processes are responsible for the interchange of different types of or the breaking of these different types of rocks. Next, important, if we discuss about the rock that are metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are actually the type of high temperature and pressure chemically active solution. It means we can say that metamorphic rocks are actually the kind of rocks that are of much more concern in a way that they are at present they are mostly utilized rock types in terms of human or in terms of anthropogenically they are of much more concern. Metamorphic rocks are often formed by the process that are actually buried involving the deep within the earth that produce new minerals, textures, and different types of crystal structures. The processes different types of recrystallization processes that takes place they does not essentially result into the solid state, rather by the complete remelting, and they are aided by ductile deformation and the presence of interstitial fluids as such as water. It's mean the process of formation of these metamorphic rocks is actually the kind of process that is subjected to different types of different types of fluctuating environments are actually for the formation of these types of rocks. Rocks are actually the type of rocks that actually that are actually found under the earth's surface, and some rocks can also be found at the earth's surface due to some meteorites impact and different types of events. But these events that are actually responsible of these rocks are actually a bit rare. So we can say that metamorphic rocks are actually involving a kind of polymorphism, a kind of event that is responsible for the formation of several different types of rocks. So the polymetamorphism, the process of morphism takes seems ignited by the lighting stack. It's mean these rocks are simply we can say are having a kind of very beautiful patterns. They are found by different events that are responsible for their formation external or that uh, process that can be divided into that can be categorized into contact metamorphosis and pressure metamorphosis and regional metamorphosis. Contact metamorphosis, pressure metamorphosis, and contact metamorphosis, pressure metamorphosis, and regional metamorphosis. These all are actually the types of rocks that are formed on the basis of their these rocks are formed on the basis of their formation process, and on the structural basis, these rocks can be foliated, and rocks can be so we are discussing about different types of So these are actually the type of rocks that are categorized on the basis of their formational process and on the structural basis. So they can be foliated, and these rocks can be categorized into foliated and non-foliated rocks. Foliated rocks are actually the types of rocks that will in previous slides that these rocks when how these rocks are actually formed whenever these rocks are actually subjected to different types of temperature and pressures and under different types of events via, let's suppose there is a kind of catastrophic event that is actually responsible for the uh, changes, like that can be earthquake or any activity. So these rocks are actually exposed to the earth surface. So when they are exposed to the surface, they are actually utilized for different types of different purposes. So in this diagram picture, you can see there here are different types of metamorphic rocks or metamorphic minerals. That can be talc, that can be granite, that can be chrysolite, asbestos, that can be chlorite, epidote. These are actually all are the beautiful pattern of different types of rocks that are formed via different processes or different events. So we can say simply we can say these are actually the basic three types of rocks that are igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and uh, sedimentary rocks. Among them, sedimentary rocks are of much more concern or significant. Why they are significant? They are important. They are significant or important for us in a way that they are responsible for they are actually responsible for understanding in a way that we can use sedimentary rocks in terms of fossil remains. Metamorphic rocks are important, significant for utilization of their construction of different types of buildings. In next lecture we will discuss about them. So and the igneous rocks are actually the earth's earliest objects, are primary type of rocks that are playing important role in formation of other two types of rocks. So we can say